Hey guys, sorry for the late update. We ended up getting about 2 foot of snow and we had a week of sub-zero from 15 below to negative 40. And it was pretty brutal. Sadly, my kerosene heater, my little torpedo heater died. That little guy died. So that'll be a future project of figuring out why it doesn't work anymore. Today we're really going to put the hammer down and get this engine permanently mounted in. I'm going to put an oil cooler on it, get that exhaust finished, and finish up the wiring now that I got another battery for it right there. Let's get to work. Let's get this engine out and get to work. We're going to be putting a oil cooler on. There's a gasket for it. This engine's going to have to work quite a bit harder than originally because it has to turn that hydrostat pump constantly. We're going to be adding this oil cooler. It goes right there. Much easier to be doing this with the engine out as opposed to shoved in there. And I need to take the engine out to do the exhaust anyway. Make sure you scrape all the old gasket material off of there. You don't want any leaks. It is just aluminum, so when you scrape it, try to be gentle. You don't want to gouge it and cause a leak. Make sure you blow the ports out so you don't have any contaminants in your oil. And on this, do the same. Blow it out. You don't want any metal shavings from the machining process on that oil cooler. Gasket. They're 10 millimeter, like most other things. Definitely don't want to break one off, so be cautious about that. But you don't want it to leak. These are also 10 millimeter. It's a relatively simple upgrade. Maybe not useful in this temperature, but the engine's definitely going to be working pretty hard when it gets warm out again. I like to use these Wix filters on all my equipment. There we go. That's a great upgrade for any of these Vanguard engines that didn't come with them from the factory. You can pick these up on eBay for about 25-30 bucks. Oil filter 8. These Wix ones are actually cheaper than the Briggs & Stratton ones. There we go. Please like and subscribe if you like this kind of content. I'm still bumbling my way through learning how to do all this video stuff, but it's kind of a fun experience to learn something new. So if you have any helpful tips or anything you think I can do better, please let me know. Now let's get back to work. Haven't tried this before, but I'm gonna see if I can use this muffler backwards. It flows the same, but only there was two inlets. I just welded that one up. I'm gonna have the exhaust go in there and exit there, facing down right here. So we'll see how that goes. There we go, exhaust welded up. Welds are not the prettiest, but they ain't gonna leak. Exhaust exits right here, which will be just fine. Let's get this engine back in. Now we're going to be redoing this block heater cable. It's very brittle. I don't want to catch the machine on fire, especially not after my Jeep just burned up. Not the Wrangler, mind you, just a Cherokee I had. So, black is on the left, white is on the right. This is the cord I'm going to be using. Have it run up to the top. I can zip tie it nice and neat out of the way, so I don't have to worry about anything. Now let's get this done. I really love old equipment that's so simple and made to be maintained. That is the oil heater for the hydraulic reservoir, which needs to be actively used in this kind of weather, otherwise can't crank the engine over. The oil's too thick. Just run right up there, straight down. 2 wires, not hard at all, and definitely better than the factory one, which was probably sufficient for back then. It would be now if it wasn't literally cracking. It's had a long life out in the elements, but that is going to make a massive improvement to cold starting. Okay, here we go. Got the engine in, mounted, exhaust mounted, clears everything nicely. Oil cooler right there. Getting ready to start it up. I'll bring you back when I'm at that point. It runs great. Hooking up that muffler like that surprisingly worked decently. No leaks from the oil cooler. Coupler's just fine. No strange play. This tire doesn't hold air. Didn't even realize that until I started moving it. Got to get the correct hydraulic cylinder for this side. And your tilt cylinder needs new seals. But overall, it is now a functional machine. It can move on its own power. Battery disconnect right here. I had to order a new ignition switch. The factory one wouldn't return from start position. Kept sticking there. Thanks for watching, everybody.